Welcome
Okay, जी.
to this episode. I don't know. Is it an episode? Is it? Are we even alive? Actually,
It's morning.
after
It's
that
morning.
after that match, this is the funeral for that match, and
मैं साथ साथ खा पी रहा हूँ just by the way, क्योंकि मैं stress eating कर रहा हूँ at this point.
yes, of course, comfort food किसको नहीं चाहिए होता. और कल का जो मेरे ख्याल से मैच हुआ है, I think I've gained like 5 kg since because I've just been eating. Um, some match, huh?
There's the great cricketer started off their episode by saying, "Oh, नहीं वो न्यूजीलैंड वाला था, लेकिन मेरे ख्याल है this one would also count." They were like, "What the fuck, India?
What the fuck just happened?
Fuck just happened."
What the fuck just happened? I think, yeah, that is a
Yeah.
very appropriate start. Um, let's talk about first some key moments in the game. The
Hmm.
last over, I think I mean, it lasted felt like a
Five
few,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, time is relative, right? Um,
It's very absolute if you start bowling wide balls and no balls.
well, was it a no ball? Let's talk about that. I think that the no ball, the free hit, everything. I think the entire 39 overs happened in that one over. Actually, it's
देखो,
hard to make sense or have any stats. Or I mean, Kohli just went God mode. I think there's just nothing you
वो
can say.
मुझे ना
But is Kohli back in form?
देखो, I before I answer that, I think I'm just trying to gather different reactions because I can't formulate one of my own.
Hmm.
तो एक तो what the fuck वाला था, एक और जो था ना reaction वो ये था कि I was आज in the morning I was talking to a friend and I hadn't talked to her last night, and she's a very like a very staunch follower of cricket. Or I called her and she went like के I was like कैसा गया आपका कल का दिन, and she went like के यार cheating हुई है हमारे साथ, and I was like yes.
Hmm.
And
I think that sums up most of what the country and I am glad कि तुम ना
what?
you went to the most primal human emotions which
मैं नहीं
we
क्या,
feel.
my
Um,
friend.
well, yes, your friend did, and I think your friend represents um,
The nation.
it's this the feelings and the emotions of a nation. हमारी एक और फ्रेंड है जिसने बहुत उसने कल ही रिएक्शन लेकिन दे दी थी. I think
इसका
that
रिएक्शन तुम
uh,
कैमरा पे कह नहीं सकते.
वो बिल्कुल वो चीजें हम कैमरा में बिल्कुल नहीं कह सकते बट अब अगर हम इमोशंस की बात ही कर रहे हैं, हाउ आर यू डूइंग इमोशनली आफ्टर
यार
यस्टरडे?
मैं तो ठीक हूँ, मैं तो I was people will hate me for this but I was in heaven. यानी कि मैं I wanted to watch a brilliant Kohli innings. It's unfortunate that it came against us, लेकिन it had to come at some point and there was no greater stage than this. मैंने उस वक्त भी कहा था एशिया कप से पहले कि he likes to make these statements और वो इधर ही शुरू इधर like this is where Kohli shines the most. और I think कल जो उसने किया that is perhaps the greatest he has played.
I think we
Anyone
were
has
anticipating
in recent
this for
history,
the
I would
last few
say.
months. कि
आ रहा था,
अभी
आपको
तो
पता चल
करेगा
रहा
ना.
था कि
And
कुछ
it's like
करेगा.
we knew he's going to he's probably not going to get many runs against South Africa, probably not much against Bangladesh, but he saved it for us, and I think that's
Yeah,
that's that's that's
yeah.
that's really Kohli. Um,
He went off.
he
He
went
just
off.
went off.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's
जो
just go ball by
जो
ball.
रऊफ को जो रऊफ को छक्का मारा था वो तो
Last few.
अनबिलीवेबल था.
Yeah,
हाँ.
I think that was the moment. That six was the moment where I felt like we're not. There's no like he just took a short ball, hit it over for long on.
At 150, like at 145 plus, like किसी बंदे ने जिसने टेप बॉल क्रिकेट भी खेली भी है ना, they know how impossible that is.
Yeah.
And at that speed, it's just like in that pressure, यानी कि You have to be in a certain zone and you have to be a certain player to do that.
Yeah.
And
Of course, that zone is God, becoming God themselves, or I don't know, whichever way you want to, whatever gender you want to associate with.
yeah,
Last night,
bake shops, bake shops.
bake shop, but last night,
He became a bake shop.
God became goalie. um, right. So ball by ball, I think. I think if we just do the ball by ball, the last 3 overs,
Yes.
that's pretty much the whole game. Because nothing, I
Yeah.
don't think anything really happened beside that. Both the teams were quite equal. So Shaheen
I think
bowled the 17th, right? Uh,
yes.
and that's, I mean, coming back from injury, though it seemed right, but he didn't seem right.
17th or 18th?
Is Shaheen still fit? I think that's the question we need to think about in his over. Is Shaheen fit? Should
यार
Judd thinks not, just by the way. Thinks
यार देखो, इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट इस तरह की चीज होती है कि अगर आप थोड़े महीने भी बाहर रहो उससे तो आप it takes some time to get back.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't think he's unfit. I think he might be holding himself back at a few moments. I don't
Mhm.
think that was a problem at all. I think the problem I had with Shaheen, and it's easier to say than to do it under that much pressure, is he was bowling full. And I think he was bowling full because he thought कि कुछ swing मिलेगा और way dipping Yorkers वगैरह. लेकिन if you pick up his first over, he didn't bowl anything that was good length. And usually that's what he tries to do. He tries to nip one back in.
Hmm.
और उसने गुड पे मेरा नहीं ख्याल पहले अपने पहले स्पेल में कोई भी बॉल कराई है. दूसरे स्पेल में जब वो आया है कोहली के खिलाफ, ही पहले वो ही वेंट वाइड ऑन द ऑफ और फिर ही वेंट टू मच टुवर्ड्स द लेग और वो उसने फ्लिक मार के जो फाइन लेग पे खूबसूरत चौका मारा था. So I think his length was off and it felt like it was just not a lot of practice. He just hasn't played enough international cricket in the past couple of months for him to be able to get back to that length. That's my analysis. I don't think he's unfit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think that either. But pavilion में, the pavilion में ये बात हुई थी. This is not the pavilion, of course, which players were sitting in. The ones that are currently playing, but the pavilion on ARY, A Sports, he seemed like he wasn't running in that quick in his second spell, and that has something to do with his injury. Could be stiffness, could be something like that. So, but I mean, just moving ahead of that, the next over, Ralph bowls probably, I think, the best 4 deliveries I've seen.
Yes.
Gets hit for 3 runs, 3 runs in the second last over, and
Yes.
at this point you think that it's game match Pakistan, but it's the last two that go for 6. That's when I think Kohli hits God mode, and I think that's the moment where um,
Yeah.
it fell apart.
And everyone
Um,
sort of Kohli was saying this in an interview with Pandya as well, and even in his post-match interview, okay, they knew that they were going to save Nawaz for the end, so they were like, "Let's go after Rauf, because if I go after Rauf, then they will panic
mm,
because he's their best bowler."
mm,
Um, और मेरा ख्याल है कि जब आप इतनी स्पीड के ऊपर इस तरह के एक शॉट मार देते हैं या आप 2 छक्के जो इसने मारे थे आखिरी 2 बॉलों में, एवरीवन इज जस्ट लाइक ये क्या हो रहा है. और वो आपको शक्लों में नजर आ रहा था. नवाज पे भी प्रेशर पड़ गया था बहुत ज्यादा. आई मीन एवरीवन वाज सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक डेवास्टेटेड कि ये क्या हो रहा है. इट वाज जस्ट दैट गुड.
yeah,
I mean you have
you
to have
have
a
to
certain level of
appreciate what
experience as
Kohli was
well.
able to do at that time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not only
Um,
playing well, he was strategizing constantly.
mm, mm.
अब
Yeah,
वो
I
हमें पता है
think
कि वो करता है.
definitely a lot of strategy. But talking of strategies, Nawaz comes in bowling kind of a I don't know what was that, a medium pace, or was it like a, I don't know what was going on, but Rizwan was standing like back
पीछे
काफी
हम्म
तो
रन बचाने के लिए
fair enough, which is fine. He gets Hardik the first ball, and I think that's the point where the game changes because Karthik comes in and takes a single to bring Kohli on very rightly.
yes
Even the next ball though, Kohli hits a two, and it's down to what, three balls and what, 13 runs.
15 13 runs yeah
13
yeah
of three. And at that point, even I thought, India,
मुश्किल है
maybe it's slipping, maybe it's slipping out of their
yeah
hands. But, it's Kohli, you still, that, agar koi do chhake maar sakta hai, it's Kohli.
yeah
Um, and then the moment, and as your friend was saying, कि हमारे साथ
cheating
allegedly
हुई
में cheating हुई. But what are your thoughts on the no ball?
yeah there are moments I don't know in life but definitely in this specific sport where it feels like all the laws of nature have been suspended and some random force has taken over and
Virat.
is now dictating the match. Not even Virat, he was just on the other end. Yeah, जो भी था वो उसी end पे भी था, but sure, the most he could have done was hit a six. But then this weird shit started happening, right? Like, and this is where you're like, there's a player who's playing really well, and he might win them the match, but then this external shit starts to happen. Where like, what the fuck is happening? जहाँ पे there's a no ball and the leg umpire doesn't give it suddenly on the spot and then Kohli walks and he's like no ball and no ball दे देता है and then there's this huge debate कि वो है या नहीं
Hmm.
उसके बाद free hit होती है
They don't go to
और
the third umpire. They
they
don't.
don't go to the third umpire which is
Weird.
astonishing to me हाँ बहुत बहुत
Um,
weird शायद प्रेशर है मुझे नहीं पता क्या था
Maybe अच्छा,
होता है
ये राशिद ने बाद में वैसे शायद पॉइंट आउट किया था, आई डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली, बट अपेरेंटली आप सिर्फ विकेट जब हो उस
अच्छा
डिलीवरी पे, तो तब आप जा सकते हैं टू द थर्ड अंपायर, which is a weird
हम्म
rule. And I think ICC again, the last World Cup had something very contentious happened,
yes
in the final, or you
no
know
I also think
this was another
if
moment.
the popping crease foot being behind or above the popping crease
Uh,
is decided by the third umpire, so
yeah,
I don't see a problem in sending this
I mean,
upstairs.
basically, Mariah Erasmus ने immediately नहीं call की, which you always see umpires
रॉड
do.
टक्कर ने कहा था
That was really,
स्क्वायर
yeah.
पे रॉड टक्कर था
नहीं नहीं, square पे Mariah Erasmus था. Rod
हाँ
Tucker was
ओके
on the other end, and he called the no ball, which was, I think, the really, or it was just a late call by Erasmus, which in both
यस
cases it's very strange. But here, Kohli
खैर उसके बाद
somehow
मैनेजर सिक्स
manages.
क्योंकि फुल टॉस ही थी वो
Kohli
बट
manages a six,
हाँ
पीछे,
बट द
and
weird हाँ but then the weird stuff starts happening right like
oh
super
yeah,
crazy stuff
yeah, yeah.
like एक free hit है उस पे एक wide हो जाती है
हाँ,
and then
free hit
you're
पे
like
wide
okay
हो
fine
जाती है.
like
And
उसके
then
बाद free hit पे
And
क्या
then
कहती
Kohli,
है
I think, being a Kohli might have just, premeditated that, kind of, because he was ready to take the run. Basically, he was down the ground. उसने तो भागना था, जो भी हो,
I
मर्जी हो.
do feel like though with the laws of the game uh, um, that it's sort of weird कि अगर आप out हो गए free hit पे तो you can still take a run right like
Hmm.
sure आप out नहीं हो right like so catch जब होता है from what I have understood is कि ball dead हो जाती है as soon as it touches the hands of the
No,
fielder
no,
ठीक
no,
है and you
that's not the
catch
case.
you can still run. You can
You
still
can run.
run until
You
it
can run.
gets
Yeah,
thrown. Acha, okay. Which is a weird rule, like to me. To be fair, like I feel like अगर out
but
हो
tough
गया,
on the
right?
bowlers, huh?
Hmm. नहीं, definitely too much for a no ball. Like, definitely quite a lot of penalty for a no ball, I
Hmm,
would say.
hmm, hmm.
Um,
It's basically
ये
free
खैर
runs, right? It's free runs.
हाँ कुछ भी करते फिर वो आप, right?
I mean, there's a very
Um,
popular video which is starting to kind of emerge now, is some Australian A batsman facing Shoaib Akhtar on a free hit,
अच्छा.
and he just walks off the pitch, lets the ball hit the stumps and runs. So
Yeah.
and Shoaib nails the Yorker. वो Yorker मतलब middle stump जाके मारता है और वो run ले लेता है उस पे.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and
Wow.
even then, it just hit a certain part of the stump in such a way कि वो exactly Shaheen और Rizwan के बीच में से निकल के 3 रन.
बीच में से गुजर जाता है, 3 रन मिल जाते हैं, and all of a sudden like you have 6 and then a no ball, like that's like 7 runs, and then 8th of the wide, and then 3, then like 3 of the free hit,
Yeah,
and then suddenly 11 runs are gone, right?
yeah, and then it's what, just 2 of 2,
2 of 2.
and we have Karthik,
Yeah.
and then Karthik of course messes it up. I mean,
It's out.
it's out. He's stumped and
Unbelievable.
he's gone for
Yeah.
good. And then Ashwin comes on, and
And Ashwin is cool as a cucumber.
because
As
I
a
mean,
as a spinner, he knows the chances of him bowling a wide are too much. Yeah.
I don't know, was Nawaz even bowling spin? That's an
Was
important
he bowling what?
spin.
Hmm. He
Was
was
Nawaz was Nawaz even?
देखो देखो he was trying to, I mean, it was like medium pace or something, but I think उसको लग रहा था कि Ashwin will try to make room, and he was trying to follow the batsman. But Ashwin was smart; he just stood his ground.
Yeah,
And I think if you see this, you
as
will
he usually
realize कि
does.
हाँ, um, or if you will notice, the one thing that Kohli has done, and I think he also instructed Ashwin to do, was to keep your head still and stay there. Don't try to come outside the crease or do random shit, because that's what they're expecting, right? Like, agar wide hai to jaane do. And that's what happened. Nawaz thought कि he'll make some room. वो नहीं हुआ, and the ball goes around the leg. And all of a sudden, like, the game is almost over.
Mm.
And then you just need 1 of 2. Um, and Ashwin again keeps his calm and just tips one over, short off, yeah, mid off, or they win the match. But I mean, crazy 82 of 53.
Yeah. What did you
From
think about
34 to 4.
Yeah, and of course, India celebrates with about 89,000 people, supporters in the stadium, which is, I mean, it was great to see. Deserved it. Kohli, is he back in form? I think so.
I mean, definitely. Yeah.
But I think जो सवाल अब मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, I mean, you Heaven, I'm sure a lot of Indians were as well. I really enjoyed the innings as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Heaven though, but like, yeah, I really enjoyed the innings, and इसमें I did feel though just कि like needed to be healed. Like there was some part in me which was still broken after the match, and
Yeah.
मैंने उस वक्त tweet भी की थी कि at PCB, where is the
Speech.
dressing room talk? Where is the speech?
Yeah.
And yeah, they posted it this morning or last night, I think.
कल
And
रात को.
yeah, did you get the chance to listen to it?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
And
Beautiful.
yeah, Babar just
Yeah, but it's so difficult being in that position.
yeah.
Like, Nawaz wasn't even looking up,
Huh.
you know?
Well, this is the second time this is happening to him.
Really?
Asia Cup last over, जिसमें
Yeah.
हमने stream की थी, and we
Yeah.
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 Pandya was there, and but
I
yeah,
also liked
today,
Hayden's speech.
yeah.
He was
I think he just
और वो
enjoyed the
पक्का,
match.
हाँ, मेरे को ये लगा था कि हेडन का ना वो प्योर जो
Spectator.
awesome mindset था ना 2000 वाला कि it's just a game, right? Like he didn't let it psychologically affect him. Like, और यार ये जो like ये वाला जो mindset नहीं बहुत कम टीम्स में होता है। ये जो 2000s वाली ऑस्ट्रेलिया की टीम थी, 90 लेट 90s की, उसका यही था कि कोई बात नहीं, you know, No big deal. We have winners and we'll win the match. Or Hayden का literally वही था, like it was a beautiful game of cricket. I enjoyed it. Let's move forward, right? एक और चीज होती है कि for the Aussies it's like a game. It feels like a game. It doesn't feel like do or die,
Yeah.
right? लेकिन इंडिया और इंडियंस और पाकिस्तानीज के लिए होता है कि ये जिंदगी है बस.
हाँ.
Right? And I also feel like that, of course, has to do with the fact that their countries just watch cricket, right? Matthew Hayden can go and walk on the streets of Australia, and there's some chance people might not recognize him. Okay? People who are into footy, people who are into rugby, people who are into tennis, I don't know, whatever Australia plays, right?
Hmm.
Or even if they do recognize him, it won't be like, oh, kal raat ko tumne kya kiya, right? Like you lost us the match. When you come to Pakistan, yeah, you open your WhatsApp, yeah, you open Twitter. As soon as you go to the hotel room or you meet people outside in the lobby, and they will tell you you've made the gravest mistake of your life. Yeah, you've played the greatest innings, and you are now suddenly being equated to Tendulkar and God or whatever. Um, and I think Hayden's speech was good in terms of giving perspective. I don't know how much the boys sort of understood that, took that in, and realized at the end of the day, even if none of the country, no one in the country understands that it's just a game. For our sake, we do need to understand that and move on. जिसकी वजह
Ishant
से
Sharma
मैंने
still gets asked
really,
about that Mia Raj 6.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah. I
and
think
हाँ,
it's
I
more
mean,
about,
I mean, जिस तरह से बाबर ने कहा था मैच विनर है और I think Babar perhaps is able to embody that I mean, I feel
yeah,
that
yeah,
mindset that the India game is just one of them.
yeah. His most important sentence I would say was कि यहाँ पे छोड़ के जाओ.
हाँ.
Right? जो भी है ना वो कर लो, process it,
Mm,
but leave it here.
yeah.
Right? Leave the match in this ground and then move forward.
Yeah.
Because it's literally the first match of the
Mm.
tournament. And while that does put you in a precarious situation, it still is not the end of the tournament by any
हाँ,
margin.
आई थिंक आज का अभी साउथ अफ्रीका जिम्बाब्वे का जो मैच वॉश आउट हुआ है दैट्स एक्चुअली टू आवर फेवर नाउ बिकॉज
अच्छा.
तो ये था ना कि अगर साउथ अफ्रीका हमें हरा दे तो तो नो 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 सो दैट even if we beat South Africa they have
Yes.
a chance at qualifying on net run rate लेकिन
Uh,
अब ये है कि अब वो हार जाए हमसे या हमें हरा भी दें तो we still have a chance. I don't know what the fuck I just said, to be honest.
yeah, I think if we beat them, then we're definitely in.
Then we're definitely in. Then we're definitely in. Yeah. Um, and I think
Amazing. That's
same
good.
goes India's through. But South
Yeah.
Africa match is going to be some serious.
Is India through? Is India through only all किसके साथ match हुआ India का?
No, India's not through. We're kind of like a group of death, you can say. So it's kind of down to if we get to play all our matches well. वैसे ये भी याद रखना चाहिए बारिशें तो बहुत हो रही हैं. हमारा भी जिम्बाब्वे, बांग्लादेश, नेदरलैंड्स के साथ अगर कोई वॉश आउट होता है तो that is going to backfire on us pretty badly.
Yeah.
I think Indian monsoon is also around the next World Cup, so I think the ICC is really getting their scheduling on point for sure.
Do you think South Africa would be a difficult team to beat?
Yes.
You
Does
rate
that
them
mean
high.
we're going to lose? Does that mean we're going to lose though? No, I don't think so. उसकी वजह ये है, South Africa generally is quite shit against us in tournaments.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if we can beat them with the 2015 World Cup team, where Ahmed Shahzad and Nasser Jamshed were our openers, and
Afridi was giving Callis
he
the
was
kiss.
still playing, and Umar Akmal was keeping.
Wow.
I mean, it'll take something to beat us. I think Pakistan will beat South Africa. I don't think it'll be like a very straightforward match. I think हमारा Sydney में है match. it'll be fun to watch, I'm sure. But
अच्छा एक चीज जो हमने शायद एनालाइज नहीं की वो ये है कि there was definitely one pacer less and that was a
oh,
cardinal
yeah,
mistake we made.
yeah, yeah. I think
Cardinal
they will
mistake.
realize that, and they might. I have a feeling remove
Drop Heather.
drop Heather or Asif, because I mean maybe Asif as well, because Asif is coming at number 8. Um, I mean, we're not batting 8. Asif hardly. I mean, he came up the order. Like, um, even with him scoring no runs, we're doing quite okay. So they might bring in Wasim Junior. और मेरा ख्याल था उनको Wasim Junior को वैसे भी रखना चाहिए था, because he can hit. Shaheen can bat. Shaheen can bat,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think
Raheen has a first class century.
does he?
No. But it's the thing we say, right? When
Of course,
we talk about pinch hitters, we're like, no, he
as a
has
first
a
class, like it
first
means
class.
something.
हाँ like that means something. भागलपुर में बी टीम के खिलाफ यार
Papua New Guinea against.
पापा न्यू
That's
गिनी
because that's who we face in first class.
या फर्स्ट क्लास से खैर साया में यूप पे बात करेंगे आज ही बहुत अच्छा खेला है वो
अच्छा.
जगह बन रही है मुझे लग रही है टेस्ट टीम में बहुत खूबसूरत
हाँ, I mean,
प्लेयर
I think
है
that's
ही
a bit
स्कोर्ड
tough
टन्स
कि
ऑफ
उसकी टेस्ट टीम में जगह बने अभी. Yeah, I think Simon, you मुश्किल है.
Was it
I
also
don't see him coming at least
just by the way
another year. But I mean, I'm not the chief selector.
Azhar also scored
A
a
double, yeah.
century in like 10 balls a double century
Sorry,
really
Azhar what?
Azhar, Azhar scored a century in like 112 balls. He became the 46th um, player or something like in first class to score that many centuries. No, he made 46 centuries, and that is like only 6 people have done that in
Amazing.
Pakistan first class history.
Uh-huh.
So I think Azhar is here to stay for the next couple of years.
हाँ, of course. I
खैर
think Azhar will get a spot.
वापस आते हैं T20 वर्ल्ड कप में मुझे लगता है आसिफ को हाँ रहेगा T20 में आई थिंक
Shakil got
आसिफ को रख
180
देंगे वो
so
सॉरी
South Shakil also got like 180. Yeah.
um yeah anyways I think they won't drop Asif because matches close हो जाते हैं और आसिफ जैसा finisher चाहिए उनको
Yeah.
हैदर on the other hand hasn't done much I mean अच्छा खेल रहा है but अगर मैं कंपेयर करूं तो मुझे लगता है कि वो ड्रॉप हो जाएगा और वसीम आ जाएगा अंदर
Yeah. For sure. Perth में तो definitely. Perth actually Perth I think has the most pace and bounce in Australia, तो मजा आएगा वसीम को भी I think देखने का. And
हारिस को
की बात है, लोग कह रहे हैं उसको ड्रॉप, तो पता नहीं है वो. I think that's
किसको
Shaheen, because he's not fit.
नहीं
I don't think I don't think the pavilion, again, this is the show. उसके अंदर बात यही हुई है कि probably needs more match practice, and I think Zimbabwe and I think Bangladesh are our next 2 matches.
Yeah.
And that'll be good before we face South Africa. Yeah.
I think once he gets the match practice in तो he'll just start to like वही length उसकी सही होना शुरू हो जाएगी. He won't be too greedy. मुझे लग रहा है थोड़ा सा शायद greedy भी हो रहा था कि swing है तो मैं जरा full करवाऊं.
Agreed.
नसीम की लेंथ बहुत अच्छी थी. नसीम की लेंथ बहुत अच्छी थी.
And as I said, Naseem, I feel like will be more threatening in the World Cup just for that reason. What were his statistics? What did he bowl at? I think
What did he bowl at? He was fast. I
bowled
mean,
at
speed
the
wise.
best. But yeah, he had 1 for 23. That's 5.75, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Shadab
brilliant.
also
That's
did
brilliant.
pretty well.
Spinners ने सारों ने अच्छा किया except Nawaz's last over, which was just I mean unfair to him.
Yeah.
I think Nawaz भी अच्छा करेगा था.
Yeah. I think there's so much we can say about yesterday's game.
I mean, just hats off to Kohli. I hope he gets to 100 hundreds.
हाँ,
Um,
definitely.
he's the only person who deserves that for now. Babar or Rizwan, chalo. I think Arshdeep should get all the credit that is there. बहुत
Hmm.
खूबसूरत bowling. He bowled like a Shaheen in that match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
किसी ने वो उसकी split screen भी बनाई थी of Shaheen bowling to Rohit and him bowling to Babar.
Yeah.
But
बहुत अच्छी.
we can score without Babar and Rizwan, I guess.
For sure.
Maybe they're just resting middle order. Yeah.
Yeah.
Istikhar and Shan came pretty good.
Played really well. Surprisingly, मुझे था कि इफ्ती को ड्रॉप करना चाहिए था. Before the
हाँ
match, I thought.
हाँ, नहीं तुम तो किसी किसी अच्छे प्लेयर के फेवर में नहीं बोलते.
मुझे लगता है शुक्र है कुछ दिल को नहीं भेज दिया उन्होंने.
हाँ, वरना कितने 200 बन जाते मेरे ख्याल से.
हाँ बिल्कुल. दूसरी टीम के 200 बन जाते.
हाँ, definitely. While chasing.
नहीं, इफ्ती वाज अ प्लेजेंट सरप्राइज. आई ऑनेस्टली वाज नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग. मुझे था कि इसको यार ड्रॉप कर, इसको क्यों भेज दिया. प्ले पेसर.
Hmm.
बट नहीं, आई मीन एब्सोल्युटली ब्रिलियंट इनिंग्स, एब्सोल्युटली ब्रिलियंट.
Yeah,
ही
Heather's just the gift that keeps on taking, and I think maybe we can sit him out, just for a bit.
yeah. हाँ, I think Heather has his work cut out for him.
Yeah,
He needs to show a few good performances, consistency. He's a good player, but if he doesn't have consistency, then आपकी जगह नहीं बनेगी टीम
yeah,
में.
yeah. I think इसके साथ हम
और
इस
खास तौर पे नहीं बनेगी अगर आप एक एक्स्ट्रा पेस की जगह मार रहे हो.
hmm, yeah, definitely. I think that's the episode. That's what we felt about the game. That's what we felt about Kohli's innings, and yeah, I think let us know how you're doing from yesterday's match on either side of the
Yeah.
border. Just side पे भी आप हैं. Just
Yeah.
tell us
And to India,
so we can make generalized comments about each country and how they're feeling.
and the love that exists between the two country,
Absolutely.
and the pain that exists on this side of the border right now. और मेरा ख्याल है कि इंडिया को मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि अगर आपको लगता है कि सिर्फ कोहली बादशाह है, तो हमारे पास भी एक बैठा हुआ है. और जिस दिन उसका दिन होता है तो वो भी निकाल जाता है मैच. एंड let's I really hope. That sounds threatening. That's a veiled threat.
That's right.
As much as I love Kohli, Babar has a lot to do. Babar has a lot to do. But I still think if it's Babar's day या Rizwan's day, तो उनको भी कोई नहीं रोक सकता. वो 24 अक्टूबर को आपने देख लिया था, बिल्कुल एक साल पहले आज के दिन.
Happy
तो
Diwali
let's
सबको.
hope we meet again.
Yeah, happy Diwali सबको.
And
And
happy Diwali.
yeah.